Going live. What is this channel about? Is this channel about cold weather, snuggling up like a teddy bear, getting married, and doing home renovations? No. This channel is about living light, living a minimalistic lifestyle, staying in hot weather, and enjoying your life to the fullest, living your dreams, simplifying your life so that you're not stressed out. But you can take whatever you want from my channel and put your own twist on it because it's your life. You live how you want. And we talk about a variety of things on this channel. And every night I go live, except for the past 2 nights. Why didn't I go live the past 2 nights? Because it's been beautiful weather, and I've been out to beach. I've been in the beach, and today I had to work most of the day. But I have to prioritize my self-care. Obviously I like to be consistent, but I have to do that. On a live check-in, Star Pack, what's up, Star Pack? I'm eating a little skinny pop right now, Star Pack. Love and respect to the skinny pop, very magical. AJ, I was wondering what happened to you yesterday. That explains it. Yes, hot weather and seizing the moment. Look, you gotta seize the moment. But I missed you guys. And like I do every night, what I'm gonna do tonight is Janice was worrying. Thank you for caring about me. I appreciate that. I mean, that's too why I like a virtual relationship. That's why I didn't want to be a pastor. Look, I don't want to have to show up every Sunday to tell the crowd. Like, I want to be virtual. I want to go live when I want to go live. I want to see people when I want to see people. That's why I don't like relationships. I don't like commitment. That's why I like YouTube, because I can go live when I want. I don't have to. I can end it when I want. Being honest with you now, that's part of the reason why commitment, whether it's relationships, whether it's whatever. I like free. I'm honest with people. I don't manipulate them. I don't try to. I've learned that in life. RSP. I've learned to tell people right away, I'm not going to your event, not because I don't love you, not because I don't respect you, but because I don't like to be around a lot of people, and I don't like to commit to going to an event. And I probably won't go anyway. But I tell people up front, and what I've learned in life is you live a better quality life when you tell people up front who you are and what you're about. They can either like it, and if they don't like it, and you better believe there's going to be people that don't like you, and you have to be okay with that. AJ, don't blame me. Thank you. Hung up 1984. What's up? Hey, hung up. Angelina, Tampa Bay's in the house. Yes, get sweating. Hey, all, we missed you, but I'm glad you took some time to enjoy yourself. Thank you, Angelina. How are you doing? Are you healing? Angelina went through a divorce, and I know she's been healing for the past several months, but I think it takes 2 to 3 years to heal from a long-term relationship. When you go through a breakup, when you separate yourself, 1 minute you feel like you're okay, and then the next minute you get hit with a wave of grief. It takes about 2 to 3 years with no contact, to establish a new life, and this is what I want to talk about tonight. We'll get back to live comments. To uproot your life. Uproot your life is necessary. Sometimes in life you have to totally uproot your life. What does that mean? I remember when I was offered a job in California one time, and somebody said to me, Sam, to do that, you'd have to totally uproot your life. And that word always stuck with me. And when I sold my house that I owned for 15 years, I've shared with people, it was very painful because it felt like I uprooted my life. Now, I didn't move to California. I moved into my car because I wanted the flexibility, because I knew I wanted to move to Florida, which now I've done. I travel still for my job. But what I can tell you is it's a scary word, uprooting your life. But it's necessary. And society sometimes teaches you the opposite. There's a huge amount of society pressure for you to root your life into something and to stay rooted. I reflect also, when I say the word roots, I reflect on, if you ever walk in West Harlem, there is a Harriet Tubman statue on the streets of West Harlem. And it's a very nice job the artist did. It's like this steel statue, and her hair turns into like these roots that go down concrete on the sidewalk. And it shows basically her roots there going into the ground, into the street. And Harlem has a lot of culture, etc. And There's something to be said for that. There's something to be said for when you sell your house, you feel like you uproot your life. There's something to be said when you get a divorce, you uproot your life. You have to uproot your life. You're not meant to stay in the same place forever, in one sense of speaking. You know, there's a scripture also that says that from a religious standpoint, stay rooted in Christ. But then Jesus also says that after me, something better is coming, the Holy Spirit, so that God will live inside you. So whether it's society, ethnic culture that says rooted in you, whether it's a society, financial culture that says, buy a house, get rooted in a community. Whether it's whatever thing in life, there's different times where people have encouraged me to get rooted, get rooted in a church, get rooted in it. And there's a season to plant yourself, to learn and to grow. But there's also a season, this is what I've learned in life, where you have to rip those roots up. And you have to stay rooted in only one thing. In only one thing you should stay rooted. Inside you. Not inside Harlem. Not inside your marriage. Not inside your religion. When you are rooted in your own truth, you are always home. When you are rooted in your own truth, you are always in a healthy relationship. When you are rooted in contentment, you are always in a good financial state. Staying rooted in yourself is the key. Not in a religion, not in a church, not in a town, not in a city, not in a relationship. Getting rooted in yourself. Uproot that has what's been taught you, what's been taught to you. And start to do some gardening in your own being. And you put your roots deep inside your being. And you let that grow. Because without that, you'll stay stuck in the same city, stuck in the same unhealthy, unfulfilling relationship, stuck at the same job because you're just an electrician. You're scared to think like anything else. You are just a caretaker. You are just this. You're scared to know yourself at a higher level so you can open up doors in your mind and your spirit that will totally take you to another level that you never thought. God lives inside you. Inside you. And once you tap into that, there's power. But you have to get rooted in yourself, not in a church that wants your 10%, not in a city that wants your city taxes, not in anything else that wants you to have a prideful thing in waving waving whatever type of flag of, you all have to get rooted in yourself, period. And the final thing I'll share on my structured topics, I try to keep it under 5 minutes, then we're going to go all live comments, is I remember when I first started living out of my car. And a good friend of mine, I love her dearly, she said, Sam, maybe at some point when I first started traveling, maybe you should get rooted somewhere. And I may eventually establish roots somewhere else, but I needed a season of fully exploring before I would even consider that. Like I said, once you uproot your life, you don't then right away reestablish your roots. You don't get out of a marriage and then right away start dating. You don't get out of a mortgage and then right away make another financial heavy commitment. You don't get out of a 10-year church where you were the worship leader, where you were the usher, where you were the deaconess, and then go right back and make another commitment. You need a season of your life to get re-rooted in your truth so that you don't become a cult member, so that you don't become Jennifer Lopez in the movie Enough, so that you don't become anything else other than you. You have to have a season of rediscovering yourself and planting roots in your own life, in your own path, in you defining yourself. Not your church, not your city, not your relationship. You define yourself. And whoever doesn't like it, You have to get to a point where you build up your confidence. Your roots are so deep that if you don't like who I am, that's fine. You ain't going to be part of this journey. And that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. I'm sweating and I love it. Damn, that's what I like. I like hot weather. Do I like greasy soup, cold weather, Netflix and chill? Hell no. Cancel your Netflix, throw out your winter jacket, get some tank tops and move to Florida. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Why? Because more Florida for me, okay? More Latino MILFs for me. Do some people get upset at you? Do I care? You already know the answer to that. I had to block a few people since I last saw you. And do I even bat an eye? No. I don't bat an eye. Some people get that, some people don't. Now, back to the live comments. D, hey D, hey Sam, how are you D? Susan, hey Susan, hey Sam and company, good to have you back. Thank you, I appreciate that, means a lot. Thank you, Susan. Angelina, I'm getting there, laugh out loud. I've been downsizing and I'm planning to move back to New Jersey. Huh, well, good luck with that. You can have all the Jersey you want. I miss it a lot. Well, but I don't want to mock you for your dream because you know, you've lived in Florida. You have to discover yourself. And your journey, we're all on our own journey. So I don't want to define your journey. I want you to have the freedom to define your own journey. And, you know, New Jersey can be nice in the summer, certain areas. But again, people say the same thing about Florida, and that's true. But whatever I do tell you is don't make a heavy financial commitment, whether it be a long-term lease or a long-term mortgage, until you spend a season, you know, with no commitments. You just got a divorce, you're getting ready to change states, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Because again, you should live and you should do whatever you want. But what I'm trying to tell you is go through a season where you have as little commitments as possible so that you can freely rediscover yourself without pressure. That's wisdom. Danny, hey, just what do you do when the cops mess with you? Well, I park legally and I live legally. It's legal to live in your car. It's illegal to so I move responsible citizen. I work a full-time job. You know, there's people that are irresponsible that live in an apartment, that live in a house, that have a criminal record, that are on parole. So what do when the cops mess with them? They cause conflict, and that's why even though they live in an apartment, they have a criminal record. So Danny, that answers your question. Angelina, I'm getting rid of most of my possessions. Well, amen. And I will only take what fits in my trunk. Well, that's wisdom. It's time for a change, for me to start over and uproot. Yes, that's wisdom. And heal forward. Good job. Angelina, peace emoji, then a heart swirl emoji. Love and respect. Reserved. Would you ever move out of the country? No. Working remotely from the Philippines, Thailand, South America? No, no, and no. Respect and love to all of them. I love the USA. I love the infrastructure and freedom and the rights that we have here. That doesn't mean to say that there's those things across seas too in different areas. I don't even want to travel to the west coast of the United States of America. I just like up and down the east coast and mainly Florida. That's just me at this season of my life. That's me defining my life. And thank you for the question. Faith G. Hey Sam, missed you this week. I miss you too. Uprooting can be scary. Yes. Oh, very scary. Painful. I made a video after I sold my house. You know, it was like getting a divorce. It took me, I was like, it's like being in shock. Throwing out things that you spent your lifetime collecting, going through that painful process where total strangers come in your house, they inspect your house, you know, you put all this work into renovations or whatever you did, then they get your house, they gut it or whatever, and it's just a handing over the keys. It's a very painful, scary process. That's why I don't recommend you buy another house before you sell. I mean, sell, liquidate, and then don't make any heavy financial commitment. If you're in that position, totally agree with that. But also rejuvenating. Yes, that's right. That's the blessing. There's pain when you uproot, but once you heal, you grow better and freer. You rejuvenate, you reinvent your life, you reposition your life. That's the blessing. There's pain, but there's a reward. That's right. Faith G, you got it. I live in on a news flash on my phone because I have different phone alerts. Shooting in an arts festival or something. I live in the Trenton area, and we feel like I'm suffocating. I hear that. I understand that. Working towards getting out sometime next year. Totally understand that. I know where you're at. Faith G, love and respect. Coco, hey Sam, everyone, love and respect. Good to see you, Coco. Wesley, BR. Shout out to Wesley Snipes. I'm in NYC. I'm planning on moving to Florida after the summer. Well, there you go. Rent is high here. Well, rent may be lower in Florida, but so are the job salaries. 30 to 40% lower on average, the job salary. So everything is relative, okay? So that's what I'm here to tell you, because I looked at that. And that's why I took 2 years to try to get a remote position. Now, because I wasn't ready to take a 35% cut in my salary. I could have did it and still been all right, but I worked hard 20 years to build up my resume. I was like, damn, it's tough to take a huge hit. But eventually, if I couldn't get anything, I would have done it. Well, probably. But I thank God that I hung in there and I had an opportunity. So just be prepared for that. Rent's cheaper, so is pay. Everything is relative, okay? So what should you do? You should minimize your life as much as possible so that you can live where you want. Because living where you want is the most inspiring thing. But understand that nothing is perfect. Then understand that you have to be realistic. In addition to optimistic, you have to be realistic into what to expect. So you have to expect lower pay scale on average and lower rents. And there's a reason, for that. It's all in proportion. Good luck on your journey, Wesley Jr. Faith G. When things get too much or negative thoughts try to creep into my mind, I immediately stop and think forward. That's good. Faith. Let go immediately. That's what I'm talking about. Faith, and go for a walk. Faith. Good job. Love and respect. Thumbs up emoji. Solomon. Amen. It's the God in me. Yep, there was a song like that. Who was that? Mary, not Mary J. Blige. Mary. It's the God in me. Remember that song? Who remembers that song? I remember it. Glenn. Hey, Sam. Enjoy your channel. God bless. Glenn. Love and respect. Glenn Murphy in the house. Angelina. Originally, I planned to leave in August, but it may be January. Oh, you coming back up to Jersey in January? Oh, praise the Lord. Somebody give the prayer emoji to Angelina, but I don't want to be disrespectful. Good luck. I will be fully vested in my pension plan. Good job. If I leave earlier, I lose a decent amount. Well, I can understand that. Look, you got to have income. Living below your means cutting your expenses, but still having sustainable income. You got to have income. So I respect that. I'd have to be smart about this. That's right. I'll always say live with urgency, but live responsibly. Because you need income, you have to live responsibly, but you have to live with urgency. It's a balance, and everyone has their own journey. Love and respect, Angelina. I love you. Sailin' John, that's my brother from the Atlantic Ocean, docked somewhere in a boat, getting ready to sail. October 2018, never coming back. Hello? Hope all's well, brother. You already know all's well. Weather's great. Forward emoji, palm tree emoji. You know where we're going. Angelina, hey, Sailing. Susan. Had to learn more about myself. Fear of being in the woods surrounded by coyotes. Whew. New experience. Yeah, I don't like that. Love and respect to you, Susan. I don't really do much deep camping in the middle of nowhere. I do like urban camping, and even the campgrounds I stay at, they're close to the coast. I've done some remote camping, and I don't like it. Just me personally. I like to be within 15-20 minutes of a Starbucks and 15-20 minutes of the Atlantic Ocean. That's just me. Sometimes there's been exceptions. But I know I did a video when I went to Pittsburgh, the city of Pittsburgh last summer, and I was driving up the Pennsylvania mountains, and I made a video. It was one of my first videos, and I said, as I get further away from the ocean and more inland, I lose inspiration. Going up mountains, I lose inspiration. I need to be by the coast, flatland. Florida's for me, but that's just me. I'm just sharing me. Love and respect. Sound John, hey, Aunt. Danny, where is legal parking, like Walmart, for one night? Campgrounds for however many that time is, whether it's 14 days or whatever. Rest areas for a legal amount of time permitted. Somebody's driveway that either you're renting or family members. Those are the options. And then constant movement. So you have to be willing to accept that. It doesn't work for most people. Again, I only think 1% of society is fully living long-term out of their car. Everyone else is just in a transition period or doing something else. Reserved. Do you have any favorite areas in Florida? Definitely. Prefer either coast. Definitely East Coast, Atlantic Ocean. Panhandle or Miami. Southeast. Definitely. Now, I don't like to go all the way down to Miami all the time because it's a little bit crowded. Shout out to my man Milano. A little bit north of that. You know what I mean? Treasure Coast is a go. But I'll even go, like in the summer, I'll go up to St. Augustine and stuff like that to get a little bit cooler. But East Coast, definitely. I've been on the West Coast, nice area. But the energy of the Atlantic Ocean, Southeast, love and respect. And I like the culture. Southeast of Florida, the culture is there for me. I like the Latin vibe. There's a Haitian vibe because, it's right from the islands there. A lot of Puerto, I just like that vibe. I like the cultures. And there's plenty of all different. What I like about Southeast Florida is it's a southern state, but it has a feel of New York City, meaning there's people from all over the world. Some from the islands, Cuba, etc. Some from international Russia. Some from different parts of America. Ohio, Chicago, New Jersey. But it's the melting pot. It's the melting pot of the South. You know, like New York City, which I grew up 45 minutes outside New York City. It's like the melting pot of the world, and it is. Let me tell you something. What I can tell you is, in Southeast Florida, it's the melting pot of the southern. It's a tropical melting pot. That's what it is. Because it's got everything there. I like it. I like diversity. Southeast Florida, for me, hands down. I can't explain it. Got to go there, but not everyone likes it. I love it. Whiskey to Bravo. Are the boomers overbuilding Florida? Too much housing in the 20 years. Well, when the economy is good, good question. When the economy is good, Florida and California go boom. When the economy's bad, they go bust. New Jersey and New York, it will fluctuate with the economy, but it'll stay even keel because of it has the four seasons. It has, New York City is the financial capital of the world. So you have infrastructure, you have a relatively decent climate for business, and you have good school systems, you have good infrastructure, you have great hospitals, you have all the ingredients to keep the economic wheels turning. And most people don't like it hot all year round. Sure, they get upset a little bit at the winter, but they don't like it hot all year round. And, New York City is just always going to be a hub to a certain extent. So, look, housing, whether it's in Florida, California, or Jersey, housing right now, the economy, it's all the way up there. It's back above what it was in 2008. Is that wrong? No. Look at the stock market, look at the economy. That's all the way past it was in 2008. So everything's at a record high. Can it keep going up? Sure. Can it bust tomorrow? Sure. Anything can happen in life. But that's why all you can do throughout life, whether you're in a good time in the economy or a bad time, is live below your means. Living below your means is the underlying principle that will guide you whether the economy's good or whether the economy's bad, whether housing market is high or low, because that's always going to guide you that what you need to do. You need income, and then you need to keep your expenses, below your income. And that's it. And then from there, you make decisions on what you want to invest in and what time, whether it be housing or whatever. But that's the underlying theme. But yes, everything's high again. I remember there were some houses I was looking in Florida a few years ago. Some of them doubled since I've been looking at them. And now I'm not even looking at housing, but even the land, everything. So it's just something to keep in mind. Louis V. Hey man, shout out to the San Antonio, love and respect to Texas. Finally made it here to live stream. Love and respect to San Antonio and the Spurs. And I heard that Kawhi Leonard may want to go to the Lakers. We'll see what happens. Angelina. In Tampa, the rents are increasing. Yep. But the salaries aren't keeping pace. And I think that's somewhat of throughout the United States, I would agree with that. I've been finding it hard to afford. Well, I can understand that. Totally understand that. Good comment. Hey, Mama, how are you? Hey, Mama, love and respect. Doing great. Hope you're doing good. Brandon, hey, what's up? Expert in bottle peeing squad. Check it in. Well, love and respect. Hey, look, is there something wrong with peeing out of a bottle? No. Is there something wrong with having your period leak on your panties? No. Is there something wrong with having dookie stain underwear? No. Why? Because most people have it. Okay? They want to judge you for peeing in a bottle, but they got period underwear. Guys got dookie stain underwear, and they're acting like they're Rico Suave. Do I care? I don't care. I'll pee in a bottle all day. I like not having to clean a toilet. Okay, I cleaned the toilet for 15 years. Let me tell you something. Overrated. Okay, cleaning the toilet bowl, overrated. I'll pee in a fucking bottle anytime. Okay. Ryan B. Sam is a city boy. Well, I grew up in a suburb outside the city, but overall, I have that mindset. Me too. Brandon. Females living in cars. I don't know how you gals do it. Easy. If you want something, you do it. If you don't want something, you don't do it. That's how it really pretty much goes. Brizzy, Tallahassee, Florida, checking in. Love and respect to Tallahassee. Good to see you, Brizzy. Brandon, the economy is shut all. Well, the economy is always a relative term based on how you're doing. I remember being laid off when the economy was booming in like 2006, and everyone was like, the economy's great. And I was like, I'm laid off. It fucking sucks. Fuck Bush. It's all relative to what you're doing in life. But what I will tell you to do, even when you're laid off, do whatever you can. I delivered pizza when I was laid off. Paint houses. Did side work. At the end of the day, you just got to keep moving. You got to keep moving. I understand though. Look, when you are suffering financially, you don't care what the stock market doing. You get pissed, even more pissed. But what do? Keep moving, and then cut your expenses and keep that income coming in as best you can. Danny, thank you. Love and respect. Biggest brown eyes. Thank you. Pretty brown eyes. Hawaii has a perfect weather. Yep, but too remote, too offshore. I can't travel enough. Not for me. But high cost. Yeah, high cost of living. Hawaii, just not for me. Reserved. If you were still heavy, would you be able to live in the car like you are now? No, not a Jeep Renegade. Maybe a van, like Bob Wells eating cupcakes in the back of my Ford E250 cargo van, but not a Jeep Renegade. Would you have been able to be comfortable in the Florida heat? Probably not. I like to sweat, but when I was that big, I mean, I had trouble tying my shoes. I mean, I did a video, showed some pictures of it. So, my mom, like I say, that's why I say, don't just start downsizing. People have asked me, I said, I have already done the heavy lifting of my life, my mind, my body, and my soul. And that's the foundation. That's the roots. Somebody asked me the other night, what would I do with $1 million? I say, it would be great. It would be cherry on the top, but I've already done the heavy lifting of my life, taking care of my mind, body, soul. If you don't take care of your mind, body, and soul, and you go live in a car, your life's going to be shit. If you don't take care of your mind, body, soul, and you go buy a mansion and you have the money, your life's going to be shit. Your life's going to be shit until you take care of your mind, body, soul. That's the bottom line. That's the roots that you have to start to establish within yourself. Never forget it. Solomon. It's sad. A lot of people don't understand. It's the God in me. They live by the church and for the church. It's about reaching down inside and finding you. Yes. Now, I understand that. There was a season of my life, about 10 years straight, where I was heavy in the church. I was a youth leader, did different things, and they were a blessing to me. I learned a lot, and it was great. But what I've also learned was a lot of people, like college, they just go there to get the experience, and they fall in love with college, and they want to just keep getting degrees. They don't want to go out into the real world and earn their way. Church is like that. People just, they like catching the Holy Spirit. They like talking tongues, but then they don't want to go out there and get rid of the unhealthy relationships and get rid of the Chick-fil-A and get rid of the, they don't want to do that. They just want to go to church every day and feel high. Some people, they don't want to go out there, get a bachelor's degree and then, or get no degree and go out and work. They want to get another degree and another degree. They want to stay in the system. They don't want to plant roots in their own life. They want to plant roots in a college or in a church or whatever, and it's a deflection of your own life. Good comment. Mr. Dad, love and respect. Just curious, what do you do if you have to take a mean shit in the middle of the night? Good question. I did a whole video on that, on where do I dookie. I don't. I've lived in my car for almost 2 years. I've never had to dookie in my life, but I always park by somewhat of public restrooms, whether I'm a campground, rest area, Walmart, whatever. So, I mean, if it really was that bad, that's what I would do. But I'm on a cycle. Like I said, I did the heavy lifting of my life already. I took care of my mind, body, soul. I eat a plant-based diet. I eat on a regular schedule. So I go to bathroom number 2, a waste bathroom. I go between 8 a.m. to noon about 2 times. And every day, it's the same thing within that 4-hour range. That's what happens when you regulate what you eat and how what you drink and how you eat. When I was eating General Tso's chicken at midnight, guess what I had to do at 3 o'clock in the morning? Go take a mean shit. Okay, so when you eat shit, when you drink late, when you do all those things and you're not taking care of your body, you may have to take a shit 2 o'clock in the morning. Then what do? You better have a Ford E250 van with a 5-gallon bucket in there with a 3 mil trash bag, because you about to come in hot. Love and respect. You wouldn't be doing it in a Jeep Renegade. Gilbert, love and respect to Queens. What's up, Gilbert? Evening. Oh, Sammy, what's up? Nice RV. Looks like a good fit. Yeah, well, right now I don't want to commit to anything, including RV. I don't want the maintenance. I just got my oil changed on my Jeep Renegade. That's as much maintenance as I want. I don't need it. I'm totally happy and content. So I may add something eventually, whether it's RV or home base. But right now I'm totally content. I can see myself living in my Jeep Renegade, going from campground to campground. Even if I spent, a few $100s a month for that, I understand I could have went to an RV payment. But I like living free of long-term commitments. That may change, but that's where I'm at now. A RV won't make me happy. It may enhance it if I'm at a certain level. But like I said, if right now, if I wasn't inspired every day, I would change it. I changed my life because I wasn't inspired anymore. I started, repositioning my life, replanting my roots. I wasn't inspired with the church anymore. I wasn't inspired with living in my same house anymore. I wasn't inspired in certain relationships. I wasn't inspired, overeating at night. I changed my life because I wasn't inspired. If I'm not inspired living in a Jeep Renegade, I'll change. I'll reposition my life. But right now, I'm still fully inspired. Very good. All right, coming in hot. Susan, Brittany, Inc., etc. was Tallahassee several weeks ago. Nice city. Love and respect, Tallahassee. Graylin. Hey, Nomad. What's up, Graylin? Wish you a wonderful day. Same to you. Peace be with you also. On the subject of housing, the market is highly bloated. It's relative. Everything's up. I think it will correct harder than 2008, but it depends on how much it gets pushed. There's no way to tell. Look, 2008 may have been once in a lifetime generation. There wasn't anything like 2008 since the Great Depression. That was basically, what was it, like 50 to 80 years apart. So you may not have another thing like that for another 50 to 80 years. Or you may have something like that in 5 months. No one knows. The bottom line is your underlying principle should always be living below your means. 2008 happened because people, including me, on average, were not living below their means. Society as a whole was living above their means. What should you do in a good economy? Live below your means. What should you do in a bad economy? Live below your means. If you live by that principle, you'll always be, overall good. I mean, obviously, a catastrophe can happen that you cannot foresee, but you can't live your life like that, or else, all you'll do is collect canned goods, buy gold, and, have a bunker. I don't want to live like that. I want to be on a Florida beaches with the sun glistening all over my body, just living light, love and respect. Ryan B. Cleaning the kitchen and bathroom, both a waste of time. A waste of time and a big burden. I don't want that burden. Lex Star. CX, don't know what that means. Mr. Dad. As you travel a lot, what do you consider for safety? Well, I think the average person, just get some pepper spray or something like that. Obviously, each state has different gun laws, right? So, certain states, you can ride with, certain states you can't. Florida is pretty much very gun friendly. New Jersey, not gun friendly. So, look, everyone, each its own on that. All I can say is, on average, each person should just have pepper spray. On average, that's all you're gonna really need. On average. What's the most dangerous part about living in your car? Driving. The danger is not living in your car. The danger is being on the road more. Driving is one of the most dangerous things you'll ever do in your life. More people get killed by car accidents than terrorists. More people get killed by car accidents than Freddy Krueger knocking on your door at midnight. Never forget that. Never forget it. Wear your safety belt and follow at a good pace. I mean, don't follow too close to the person in front of you. Keep a good following distance. Back up. Not easy. And look, anything can happen, but this is what I'm telling you. Lex, R.I.P. X. All right, who that? What happened? Who's X? What do you mean? Kerry, hey there, how are you? I'm good, Kerry. How are you? Good to see you. Janice, I dreamed about Bob last night. Bob seducing those women out of their Social Security. Am I mad at Bob? Look, Bob's got to make a living. Somebody click his Amazon link and, he gets a commission. Ryan B. Yeah, you always have to have a nest egg in case your job disappears. Yep, at least 6 to 12 months worth of savings. Not easy. I've been there, but got to do it. Try. But when you are free, you can go anywhere. Yep. For work, that's totally true. There's 48 to 50 states to pick from. Totally agree. Thumbs up, Ryan. Flexibility is your biggest asset when you live mobile. Flexibility. You can go to any state, any city. Now, if you have a family, if you're rooted in a certain community, you got to do what you got to do. But flexibility is your biggest asset. Never forget it, Carrie. It's been on the 90s here, comparable to go, which is abnormal for Wisconsin. I like it in the 90s. Love and respect to everyone out there who's experiencing hot weather. All right. Do some people hate it? Yeah, some people hate it. They want it to be cold again so they can eat greasy soup and watch my replay and snuggle up like a teddy bear. Is that what I want to do? Hell no. I'll be down in Boca Raton giving you live updates on how me and Milano are doing with the Colombian girls. Jay. Hey, Sam. What's up, Jay? Love and respect. Good to have you. Solomon. Not all females have to deal with the monthly cycle because we've been fixed. Well, love and respect to that. That's why I like my MILFs. Now, have I dated some MILFs that went through menopause? Yeah. Is that a win for me? Yeah, because guess what can't happen? Kids, love and respect. Brandon, are you a Buddhist? No, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. I don't really label myself, but more overall Christian principles. But at the end of the day, love and respect to any faith, religion, or atheist. As long as what you're doing is not hurting anyone, I don't care what you do. But I believe in God and Jesus Christ. Are you a Buddhist? No. You have very Buddhist principle. Well, I got love for Buddha. I've watched a lot of teachings of his. I've read some. So I got love and respect for him and for everyone. Look, at the end of the day, what did Buddha teach? Basically balance. Buddhists experience different extremes in his search for enlightenment. That's what his whole story is. It was a guy that basically went on a search for enlightenment, and he went to different extremes to try to find enlightenment. And for him, what he found was balance between different things was enlightenment. Not being too strict on his diet, not being too lax on his diet. He found a balance. But I often share balance is a relative term, meaning some people comment often on my channel that living out of my car is extreme. For them, it is. For me, I'm totally in balance. So what's the answer? The answer is you need to get rooted in yourself, because only you know your balance. Never forget that. Very powerful tonight, guys. Set the captives free on this one. Angelina, laugh out loud, Solomon. Reserved. Was there a specific moment in your life when you stopped caring what others thought, or was it gradual? Well, God has always blessed me with that. I really don't give a fuck for the most part since I was very young. Obviously, over time, as I matured and I gained my confidence, that I don't give a fuck got louder and just got more intense. So that's kind of how I would answer that. Brandon, Sounds like you're living sounds like you are living for no reason. Well, I'm living for a reason, for my passion, for my purpose. For when you live an inspired life, you are living for the most reason that you're created. You're created to live inspired. You're not created to drag ass, to pop pills just to keep you, you know what I mean, from sleeping, or just to keep you to sleeping. I mean, a lot of people fucking need a beer just to get them inspired. I don't need shit. I don't do any drugs. I don't eat any fat. I'm living a very purposeful life. Very inspired. Angelina, my goal is to be inspired. See, there you go. And I've been inspired by you. Well, thank you. Don't put me on a pedestal, but thank you. To find it and to live by it. Yep, that's right. How do you find it? By finding yourself. Putting roots in yourself. Only I can spark the flame, but you have to get that flame to a fiery inferno. Whatever I meant. Graylin, Bitcoin was created in reaction to 2008. I do believe we have seen many crashes in the stock market, 80s, 90s, internet bubble, etc. 2008 just really cut deep into the housing and lots of homes and their homes. Yeah, well, 2008 was, look, it was told to me too. I bought into the hype that housing always goes up. But at the end of the day, what really happened was, for the most part, people were just living above their means. Certainly Wall Street was playing their games. Everyone was playing their games. But on average, the overall principle was everyone was living above their means. There was too much leverage in the system, meaning there was too much debt and not enough savings. And so eventually it just got out of balance and the system had to reset. Angelina, most people aren't inspired. It's obvious just looking at them. Angelina, you already know. Louis V, have you ever considered getting a dark tint on all your back windows? My back windows are dark tinted out. You just can't tell because it's very light outside, but from the outside you can't see in. The only ones that aren't tinted are on the front, but I may eventually get them tinted too. But I like the sunlight in when I'm driving, and when I put my dark window covers on at night, everything's dark, so it really don't matter. Big brown eyes, G-bombs, green beans, onions, mushroom, berries, and seeds. Good way to eat, just saying. Plant-based diet, can't go wrong, love and respect. Graylin, I'm investing my time into technology, Nomad. Well, that's wisdom. Your phone is your greatest resource. Never forget it. It's worth a 2-year payment plan if you need to. I created my first app for Android this week. Okay, if it doesn't pay out, that is fine. I learned a lot and can keep my skills anywhere. Yes, if you're going to be a business owner, which I have been, if you're going to take risks, you're going to fail in many of them. So you have to just have enough capital to withstand that. Fall, you get back up. Fall, you get back up. And the less reoccurring financial obligations you have, the more risk you can take, and then eventually, hopefully, you find your sweet spot. You need a little bit of grace in God, but that's good to be innovative and to, obviously you have a passion for it, right? So, you don't create something if you're not passionate about it. Creation is really the overflow of passion. Creation is the overflow of inspiration. So anytime you're inspired to create, you should try to focus your life around doing that, because that's where your sweet spot is. It's Madika. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. Do you mind if I ask what you do to make 6 figures while you're living in your car? I'm genuinely curious. So I've answered that many times. I'll answer it again. I started off my career as an electrician. Then I got into electrical engineering. I also own my own electrical contracting business. Now I'm in capacity management based on my electrical engineering background, and I work in the IT industry. What do you do for a living? Okay. Janice, I'm free of the curse. There you go. Sailing John. Hey, count me in with the Colombian girl. Sailing John, you already know. Me and you, we're going down there. Vivo. What do you do for a living? Oh, I already answered that a million times. God, you guys, look, sometimes I may just block people just for asking me. I mean, I don't know how many times I've answered that. But I have to remember, look, some people don't listen to every live feed. That's fine. Angelina, were you always positive and confident? Certainly I've been insecure. Certainly I've been given into peer pressure. Again, I've always had, by the grace of God, something in me that at a certain point, I don't give a fuck. And like I said, through maturity and through planting roots in myself, I've just grown more and more confident. But I'm still humble enough to say that, look, I can get broken. None of us are above being broken, and I still make mistakes. And don't put me on a pedestal. That's overall what I would say. Brandon, we live to contribute to society. Don't be selfish. I do contribute to society. I pay my taxes probably more than you, Brandon. So I probably have a higher tax rate than you. Plus, every time I go to a city, I spend money. I go to the store. I go to the gasoline. I put money into that economy. So, I don't live like a hermit, and I don't know what your tax rate is. I don't know how much you travel, how much money you put into the economy. So, be careful not throwing stones from a glass house, because Beyonce just shut Kanye down, Bezos, okay? So, love and respect to my tax bracket, okay? Debbie, what is your recommendation to those who are just starting to find freedom when they are in their mid-60s? Health is your wealth. Definitely as you get older, that's going to be more and more evident. Time is of the essence, especially as you get older. What would I say is my recommendation to those who are starting to find their freedom in their 60s? is travel light. Travel light. Don't rush. Don't rush when you're traveling, and take care of your health. That's the foundation. Mind, body, soul. Don't have unhealthy relationships. If you're starting to find your freedom and you have an unhealthy relationship with your siblings or with your husband or with your kids or with your parents, get rid of that relationship, because you're not going to find freedom with an unhealthy relationship. You're not going to find freedom eating Chick-fil-A at 10 o'clock at night. You're not going to find freedom popping wine and Xanax. You're not. It doesn't matter what RV you get. Doesn't matter where you travel. That's the truth. That's planting roots inside yourself. Do people want to hear that? Not too many, but for those who do, there's freedom. Set the captives free. Ricardo, what's up, Sam? Started my new job. Love and respect to my man Ricardo. Working at a factory. I don't know, factory, nasty, dirty place. Yep, I hear that. I worked in an oil refinery back in the day. I'm going to find something better, but got to do it for now. That's right. What do you do when you look? Sometimes you have to do what you don't want to do, so you can position your life to do what you want to do. I've been there, and that's what you should do. Ricardo, I'm proud of you. Love and respect to Massachusetts. You're going to get down to Tampa, brother. There's a good spot for you. Marina, heart emoji and respect. Same back to you. Thank you. Wesley Jr. What's the name of that? Janice, Ricardo. I was dying similar jobs for many years. Marina, laugh out loud. You got a lot of grace of God. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Love and respect. Ricardo, how much you think I should save to move up to Tampa? 6 to 12 months worth of savings. I think you need, it depends. Well, right one, $5,000 bare minimum. I'll put a number, $5,000 minimum. If you're a single person with no kids, $5,000 minimum, my opinion. But at the end of the day, do whatever you want. That's my opinion. Okay. Because if you're going to rent something, you're going to need first and last month security. If you're going to live out of your car, you need a little bit of chunk of change in case something goes wrong. So I think 5,000 is a good starting number for a single person with no kids and they're just ready to take a risk. Now, obviously, if you have more than that, that's cherry on top, but that's bare minimum, I think, in my opinion. But even if you had $1 and that's what you wanted to do, I saw a video where somebody went from Canada down to Florida, and I think they had like a couple $100 and they made it work. They went through a lot of pain, but they made it work. So look, at the end of the day, you have to define your life, but that's my overall thought. Janice, I assembled and tore down postage meters for Pitney Bowes. Janice, love and respect to that. Arish, what's up, brother? Do you think the ruling elite are purposely programming degenerate lifestyles through the media so that it breaks up families, which in return create more renting, housing, debt, survival? No, the only person that can break up a family is you. Look, it wasn't society's fault, that my father had more kids than he can mentally handle and that my mom had more kids with him than she knew he could handle. I mean, it was the fact that, look, people want to have unprotected sex and people want to live above their means, then they want to blame the elite. The bottom line is you don't own your life until you take accountability for your life. Are there elites that are doing shit to control people? Yeah, but at the end of the day, when you're free, no one can control you. When you're free, no one can control you. So if you're living above your means, if you're having unprotected sex, it's your fault. You got to take accountability for your life, period. I mean, everything else is, you got to plant your roots inside yourself. Then from there, you change the world. But it got to start with you. Marion, your videos are priceless, thank you, and giving back to society. Well, thank you, love and respect. Graylin, thank you. I disagree with the guy who said you don't contribute. Well, that's all right. You already know I don't agree with him. There are streams and all positive around the world. That's all right. Look, anytime in life you step out, you would have to face it. Look, I have a lot of people. I have 10% that don't agree with me, 90% positive. But at the end of the day, look, is that guy wrong? Look, that guy can have whatever opinion he wants. Now, look, eventually I'll just block him. But that's just me. He's him. I got no problem with that. At the end of the day, look, I'm not trying to save everyone. I'm trying to be myself. I'm sharing my life. Take whatever you can from me, leave what you don't like, and put your own twist on it. My circle says be you, not be Sammy. So look, if you want to live in a house, if you want to, be a senator, whatever you want, do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, I've had a nonprofit. I've worked with the homeless. At the end of the day, I've worked with at-risk youth. At the end of the day, I pay more taxes than most people. So at the end of the day, I've already done more than most people will ever do with their life. So at the end of the day, that guy's probably fucking spent most of his life in his basement watching porn and watching Alex Jones, and he wants to tell me like I'm not contributing to society. But that's okay. I understand that. Peace and love. Vivo, some are new and fairly new to you, so they will repeat questions. I know, but it's very frustrating. I understand. Grayland, it's like being like, it's like being a player at the end of the football game and like the reporters ask you the same question. Like, I understand why they get frustrated. I mean, how many times can you answer the same question? But I have to understand that's what I signed up for. Grayland, this is a huge deal of positivity. Very rare. Thank you. Marion, thank you. Mr. Dad, I do understand some of the mean comments. They must be miserable. Yeah, misery loves company, and sometimes they just have a different perspective. I am not always right. Don't put me on a pedestal, but at the end of the day, I have to protect my space. So if I don't vibe with somebody, they go. But at the end of the day, they should do them. I should do me. That's what I preach. I preach at the end of the day, as long as what you're doing is not hurting anyone, praise the Lord. But at the end of the day, if I don't like you, you're getting blocked. Why? Because it's my life. And you should live your life the same way. That being said, I think we hit them hard tonight, guys and girls. All right? Go out there. Uproot your life whenever you are uninspired. Reroute your life into that which inspires you. Spend a season of your life healing and discovering yourself. That's the message tonight. Thank you for everyone who commented. Go in peace.